pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Dankert, would you do the roll call, please?
Mayor Steen.
Present.
Councilmember Large Anderson.
Present.
Councilmember Jordahl.
Present.
Hagan.
Present.
Carolyn.
Present.
Enright. King.
Aye, or present, sorry.
Austin.
Present.
We have a quorum, Your Honor.
I work, Steve. Judy did call and say she's not going to make it tonight. Item number 1 is a motion for adoption of the agenda with addition of licenses on number 4. With the addition, we need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 2 is a motion for approval of the minutes from March 7, 2016 and March 11, 2016. We need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We do not have anything under awards and recognitions. Number 4 is the consent agenda. With the additions, we need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, number 5 under public hearings is 5 is a public hearing on a street improvement assessment for Main Street South, 1st Avenue to 3rd Avenue, and 3rd Avenue Southwest, Main Street to 4th Street Southwest, Project 1A16. The amount to be assessed is $160,382.07 at 4.75 15-year. Stephen.
For the next 4 items, which are all project assessments, those are similar to what was presented to the council and the public back at our last meeting in February, so I do not plan to present those again unless the council or the public has any specific questions. But otherwise, the information on this item and the others are detailed in your council agenda, where Ms. Kazel and her department have broken down all the individual assessments to each property owner. Everyone has been notified in accordance with all the necessary procedures. And we, for item 5, we'd recommend moving forward with the items as listed.
Council? This is a public hearing, so if there's anybody present tonight that came to address the council on this issue, step forward. Raise your hand. Okay, ma'am, why don't you step forward? Oh, I'll get you, sir, but she was first. Why don't you step forward to the podium, give us your name, your address, and your concerns.
Gail Porter, 308 7th Place Northwest. I have a question about payment. In the past, that we were able to put it onto our property tax. Can we still do that?
Yes.
Yes, that would still be the same as in the past. You'll get your final bill in the fall, sometime in August or early September, and at that time, you could pay the entire amount in full prior to October 31st. Or option number 2 is you could pay at least half of it, and the remainder would go on your taxes. When it goes on your taxes, it's spread out at 4.75% interest. Or in the fall, when you get that bill, if you choose to do nothing, the entire amount, again, would be put on your taxes, spread out over 15 years at that 4.75% interest rate.
Okay, but you'll send that out in August?
That is correct.
Okay, thanks.
Sir, did you have a question or a concern? Yeah. Need your name and address?
Charles Pinkova. I live at 1011 13th Avenue Northeast. This is on there, one on number 8. I own my property is 2 properties. I live at the end of the block. I just want to know what the itemized breakdown of that number you came to when you sent out the letters to everybody. Is it by the foot or?
Yes.
Yes, we have, our assessments are based on the front foot.
Okay.
If you have a corner lot, you have a corner lot policy where we take the average of the 2 sides. So we get the average of those 2, that's what you have as corner lot, correct?
Oh, it's as you go around the curve. My property is 115 feet from telephone pole to telephone pole.
Okay.
And then it's dead space. I don't know who owns it. About 15 years ago, I asked who owns the the right of way behind me, the old road that would have been 14th, the old road before they put in the I-90 behind my property, and there's a section. It's probably 200 feet past my property. I was wondering if that was assessed on mine or who's taking care of that.
No, you would only be assessed for the length of your property adjacent to the street. So your 115 feet there that you referenced, if that is the correct frontage, that would be what your assessment is based on.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't responsible for that other 200 feet that
No,
goes
no.
to the right, or DOT right away. All right, thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody else? Were there any written objections, Stephen?
No, I did not receive any.
Okay, there's nobody else, and we need a resolution declaring the cost.
So move the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your
We
Honor.
now need a resolution adopting the assessment roll.
So move the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Still under public hearing. 7 is a public hearing on street improvement assessment. 6. Oh, okay. Somehow I passed 6. 6, public hearing on street improvement assessment for 3rd Street Northwest, 4th Avenue to 8th Place, 6th Street Northwest, 1st Drive to 4th Street Northwest, and 7th Place Northwest, 1st Drive to 4th Street, Project 2A16, the amount $144,058.68 at 4.75 for 15 years. Stephen?
Yep, same as the last one. If any council or public has any questions, I feel free to answer those.
Council? Once again, is anybody here to talk to the council or address the council on this issue? Were there any written?
No, I did not receive any.
Okay. If that's it, then we need a resolution declaring the cost.
So move. Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Then we need E, a resolution adopting the assessment roll.
So move the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. We're now to 7 is a public hearing on street improvement assessment for 6th Street Southeast, 16th Avenue to the dead end north of 13th Avenue, and 16th Avenue Southeast, 6th Street to 8th Drive. Project 3A16, the amount is $148,309.36. Same thing, 4.75, 15 years, Stephen.
Yeah, the only difference on this project is due to our department workload and other ongoing projects that we currently have, it would be our recommendation to move this project back 1 year to 2017. So if council is in agreement with that and okay with that process, there would actually be no action required on item number 7 at this time.
Mr. Overseen, do we need a motion on that? Yes. Okay, we need a motion to table.
I make a motion to take no action on it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll move to number 8. Public hearing on street improvement assessment for 14th Avenue Northeast, 8th Street to dead end, 13th Avenue Northeast, 8th Street to DOT turnback, 11th Avenue Northeast, 8th Street to 10th Street, and 9th Street Northeast, 10th Avenue to 12th Avenue, project 4A16, $178,142.06, 4.75, 15 years, Stephen.
Yep, the area you described there is phase 2 of a 2-year project that we started last year.
Okay, and council. Public, is anybody here? Yes, ma'am, why don't you come up here, give us your name and your address and your concerns. Or your praise, but I doubt that that's what we're gonna get.
Evelyn Allgood, 906 13th Avenue Northeast.
Okay.
If they apply this to your taxes, how much do they add on?
Stephen,
As we mentioned to the previous gentleman that stopped up, everybody owns a little different amount of frontage, so everybody's assessment is a little bit different based on their length of frontage across the front of the road. But we can get you a detailed breakdown of what that 15-year breakdown would be. I would work with Mr. Dankert in our finance department, and we can sure provide you with that information if you would like.
Yes.
Okay, I just apologize I don't have that information
All right.
for your specific assessment readily available. So we'll just, if we can just get your information so we can forward that out to you.
and Stephen, I know if people like pay half or decide to go put it on their taxes, they can come in at any time and pay it. Can they come in at any time and pay a large amount on it without paying it off? Say a partial payment?
Excuse me. Basically, we take, yours was like $3,000.
Yeah, right.
You divide it by 15 years. It'd be 200.
They have to, they have the option to pay half or all of it now, or at least half now. They could pay 3/4 of it if they wanted to, but after that time, they can only pay off the whole assessment.
Okay,
So after this fall, they can only pay off the whole assessment at that time, just because it's already certified to the county and it's on their record, so it would be too hard to keep additional records of payments coming in. So, this would be the time this fall if they wanted to pay half or more by October 31st.
But they can come anytime in afterwards and pay it off and whatever.
Yeah, the whole thing, they just couldn't make payments at that time, so, yep.
Okay, is there any other questions?
Don't we have a deferment policy too?
Yep, that's correct. Our fourth option, if you meet certain age and income guidelines, you could have it deferred on your taxes, yes.
What's the age, or is it vary?
65.
65?
65.
But it's with interest also. So interest from day one till the day you sell your house.
4.75?
Yes.
Does that vary, or does it always stay at 4 point? I
Each
mean, say
year-
the interest rate goes down in ensuing years, does that go down, or?
No, it's locked in for the date for that year's projects.
Okay. Anybody else wants to address the council on this? If not, were there any written objections, Stephen?
No, I did not receive any.
Okay, then we need a resolution declaring the cost.
So move the resolution. Second.
Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
And we need another resolution adopting the assessment roll.
So move the resolution.
Is there a second? Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Under bids and award, number 9 is a resolution for receiving bids for the replacement of a SCADA, is that how you pronounce it? SCADA system at the wastewater treatment plant. Stephen?
Yeah, this is kind of the brains of the electrical components at the wastewater treatment plant, so it's a very important project. Back in January, we received bids. We had 3 bidders. Our budget for the project was $600,000, and the low bidder, Automatic Systems, came in at $489,254. This project is a joint domestic and industrial project, so it'd be funded 50% through each area. At this point, we've been working on funding for the project, and we're getting very close with that. So I would recommend approval of the low bid to Automatic Systems Company, contingent upon the 50% funding from the Hormel Company. They're getting very close, but I want to look to move this project forward, contingent upon that funding coming through.
Council? If there are no questions or comments, we need a resolution awarding the bid.
So move the resolution. Second.
Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, under petitions and requests, 10 is a resolution approving engineering consulting service. Oh, we did that already. Let's go to 11.
No, we did not do 10.
We did do.
10 is
Okay,
the
we're
bid,
still on
11 is
the
the consultant.
SCADA. Approving engineering consulting services on the SCADA replacement project as the wastewater treatment plant. Stephen?
Yeah, this project is very specific. SEH designed the project for us, and they have vast knowledge in this system. So we would look to them to oversee some of the project construction, make sure things are being constructed according to their design specifications. They have presented a proposal in the amount of $38,000 to do that work. I have a couple items listed there. That is some of the work that they would be completing as part of that project. And again, I would recommend awarding this contingent upon the Hormel funding coming through on this project.
Council? If there are no questions, we need a resolution for 10.
So move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 10 is, or 11 is the resolution approving the plans for reconstruction of 10th Drive Southeast. Stephen?
Yeah, at this point, request approval of the scope of work that we have presented to you at the last work session. That scope of work for this project involves a 44-foot wide roadway with curb and gutter. This is on 10th Drive Southeast from 8th Avenue south to the city limits, actually south to Highway 218. That width of 44 feet would include 2 12-foot driving lanes and 2 10-foot shoulders. Other items as part of the project would involve storm sewer improvements, including new box culverts south of Echo Lanes and also near the old Humane Society to improve drainage, along with extensive storm sewer and tile work. In addition to this project, there would be sanitary sewer construction going south from Midtown south to Bellman's Lift Station. That would provide for future hookups for people that are interested in accessing the sanitary sewer. And then we would also look at improving the lighting as part of this project. This is a unique project where it is being moved forward by the county, but in this case, because it is within the city limits, they need concurrence from the city engineer, so therefore we would request that council approve these key project design scope for the engineer to approve as part of the plans.
Where does the city cut off and the county begin on the west side of that road? Everything on the east is county, right?
Correct.
Jennings?
Everything on the east from Jennings Scrapyard going south is all county.
And I've had a lot of people asking, and it's, where exactly is the city
Okay.
limit on that west side?
So on the west side, the city limit line goes down to Midtown Auto.
Midtown's in or out?
Midtown is in.
Okay. Council, any questions on 11? If not, we need a resolution.
So move the resolution.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 12 is a motion approving the purchase of a K-9 in 2016. Chief, you're up.
Yes, Mayor and Council, after the work session 2 weeks ago, our officers did pick up the K-9 we were looking at, and unfortunately, this K-9 is not going to work out. The dog does not have the drive Lieutenant Holton feels would be necessary to be a successful police K-9. After discussing with Mr. Hoverston, I would like council's approval to continue to look for the purchase of a new K-9 in 2016. I would still use the forfeiture funds to pay for it this year should we find one. So I would like the council to still move forward and approve the purchase of a K-9 in 16 if we find the right dog.
Mr. Overstein, are we approving the purchase, or are we would we approve the continued search? Because it says we're approving a purchase, but we're not making a purchase.
It's purchase.
You're approving the purchase.
Okay.
It's just that, it's just like you approve the purchase of a new squad car. They may,
Okay.
be looking for a different car here or a different car there,
I
so.
just wanted to be clear.
Yeah.
Any, council, any questions? If not, we need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 13 is a resolution approving architectural services for City Hall remodeling project. Mr. Dankert.
At the last council work session, we went through a proposal with Tim Reisenauer of Zink, Reed, and Trigstead and Associates for the remodeling of City Hall once the Austin Utilities moves out for a cost not to exceed $48,000. The council did recommend approval of that at the work session, so we'd request approval of that at this meeting tonight.
Council? If there's no questions, we need a resolution.
So move the resolution.
Is there a second? Second. Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 14 is a motion setting a public hearing for Tuesday, April 19th, 2016 at 5:30 PM for the annual Stormwater Public Informational Meeting. We just need a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. 15 is resolution 2016 City Administrator Wage Adjustment. Trish? Fisher? Yep.
This resolution is a 2% increase for Mr. Clark effective January 1, 2016, based on the council's review and recommendation of his performance evaluation that was recently conducted.
And it's exactly the same as other city
It's the same as all
employees,
other.
right? Council, anything? If not, we need a resolution.
So moved.
Is there a second? Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember George.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 16 is a resolution approving 2016 through 2018 police supervisors labor agreement. Trish?
Yes, this is, as you indicated, for the police supervisors, their labor agreement for 2016 through 2018. The terms are in front of you. It includes a wage increase of for 2016 of 2%, as all other employees received, and a 3% for 17 and 18. But it also includes some language for health insurance for future years. So, and it meets the guidelines set by the council.
Council, anything? If not, we need a resolution.
So moved resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 17 is a resolution waste transfer station management agreement. Mr. Lang?
Yes, we have had ongoing management of the transfer station by Waste Systems, and this, they currently had a one-year lease agreement that we bid out last spring. As part of that bid, we included 2 one-year options, and we would recommend at this time approving the first one-year option, which would be an extension, or would be from April 1st of 2016 through March 31st of 2017.
Council? We need a resolution.
So moved the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 18 is resolution approved parking restrictions on south side of 3rd Avenue Southwest from Main Street to 4th Street. Mr. Lang?
These were previously presented to council, but they were approved as part of a motion, and we just need them as part of a resolution. So this first one, we would request to be approved as part of a resolution that you restrict parking on the south side of 3rd Avenue Southwest from Main Street to 4th Street.
Council?
So moved the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 19 is a resolution approve parking restrictions on west side of Main Street from 2nd Avenue to 3rd Avenue.
So moved the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert?
Councilmember Jordan.
Aye.
Hagan.
Aye.
Carolyn.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Austin.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Anderson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 6-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 20 is a series of motions, 5 to be exact, granting the Planning and Zoning Department the power to contract for the removal of illegally stored vehicles at the following locations: 401 8th Street Northeast, the Scatterable property. We need a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, B. 601 8th Street Northeast, the Arith property. Need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, C. 408 8th Avenue Southeast, Ernst property.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? D. 204 1st Street Southeast, the Warrington property.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And finally, E. 906 12th Avenue Southwest, the Wagner property.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're now to citizens addressing the council. Is there anybody here tonight that wishes to address the council on anything? Okay, thank you. Moving forward, reports and recommendations. We'll start with Steve.
Nothing.
Never start with
Nothing to report, Your Honor.
you. Jeff,
I have nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Janet,
Nothing, Your Honor.
Mike,
Nothing, Your Honor.
Dave,
Same. Nothing, Your Honor.
Jeremy.
Nothing, Your Honor.
I know our city administrator has something.
Yes, Mayor, we attended the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities and met with our legislators, talked about LGA and our bonding request. I think a productive meeting and kind of getting up to speed on what the session might unfold. Probably not a lot of optimism on progress. Sounded like potential for a lot of stalemate, unfortunately, at the legislature. Was also able to go and testify in regards to broadband and changing the criteria that would allow, right now they focus on unserved areas rather than underserved like Austin is. And with our Gig Austin plan, it'd be nice that the state accommodate that and provide more opportunity for economic growth where most of our economic development happens in greater Minnesota. So we were able to visit with the House on Thursday and the Senate today. So it was helpful in that regard, and that's all I have.
I went with him, and Craig did testify on, it was Thursday, right? Thursday, and I watched the hearing, and it was not a pretty sight, to be honest with you. There's a lot of bickering going on up there. Do we have any reports?
Brian has one.
Brian?
Mayor and council, I just wanted to advise you that myself and Trish are meeting with the Police Civil Service tomorrow. Our current list is about to expire, and we've gone through a lengthy portion of that list, so we were going to be asking the Civil Service to start a new officer application list for hire with the City of Austin for a police officer.
We're down one right now, right?
Correct.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think that's it.
All right, then we need a motion to adjourn till Monday, April 4th.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll take a short break and meet in a small conference. Oh, we're going to meet in here. We're still going to take a
Stay
break.
in here.
Stay in here.
Yeah. We'll meet in, should we start out or just stay in here?
Yeah, let's try that.
You want to go now?